With the rise of the downloadable space comes the appeal of the short and sweet interactive experience. Games like Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons comes to mind, and the newly released Toren makes its debut in the same vein. A game by Brazilian developer Swordtales, Toren is the tale of a young girl growing alongside a tree that will help take her to the top of a tower to face a dragon. The game's story is incredibly rooted in an almost new age fulfill your destiny arc, filled with sequences that explain the world in a mix of both clear and vague lore. While it's pretty interesting to read about another character who also climbed the tower to confront the dragon, a lot of the lessons taught to you by a mage who is apparently training you mentally bogs down the parts where the game could have focused on telling much more interesting parts, such as the world around it or the dragon itself. When you die, sometimes you're sat through a dull message by your sensei sorcerer, which I spent most of my time skipping as it felt like more necessary dialogue. And in the end, a lot of the game's story is just that, unnecessary and somewhat mundane. From a gameplay perspective, Toren is short, repetitive and simple. You'll spend the less than 2 hours length jumping, climbing, making sand drawings, solving puzzles and battling the dragon in almost puzzle style fights. The platforming is simplistic enough, but there are times that the camera angles are in such a way that predicting a jump is frustrating, pretty much guaranteeing a fall to your death the first time you try. A lot of the times I died were a result of a lack of explained mechanics, or camera angles dogging my ability to traverse environments causing death on more than just a few occasions. While scaling the tower, you'll find statues that allow you to enter dreamlike states where you learn more about the characters of the world, in which contain mild dangers and more dull platforming. From a visual standpoint, the dream states look stunning, even with the almost muddy textures that Toren has. The post-effects work make colours vibrant, and the use of lighting is spectacular in certain sections, but it isn't without flaw. During some sections, Toren almost looks like an upscaled PS2 game, and at other times it can look like something a little more impressive, but nothing of leaps and bounds. The times where you battle the dragon are probably the most interesting sections of the game, as there's something of a unique way to combine puzzle elements with the feeling of taking the beast head on in a smart way. One particular fight has you using small movable statues to hide behind while the dragon attacks, allowing you to close the gap to take a few swings. Once you get in a few licks, your sword is knocked back to where you began, forcing you to take cover behind the statues you moved to dodge the dragon's attacks while making your way back to your sword. It's probably one of the best parts of the game, though it only lasts about 15 minutes, dying once or twice included. Personally, I would have liked a lot more emphasis on the encounters with the dragon than the platforming and mild puzzles, but for what it is, Toren is a game that sets out to be something I'm just not quite sure what. All I know is that its story is unimpressive, its mechanics are frustrating and superfluous, and while its visual presentation is endearing and its low price point and length could be appealing to some, I found it to be unfortunately mediocre. I give Toren a 2 out of 5. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm going to be coming out with a lot more of this stuff more often if these kind of games come out more often. Not necessarily bad games or mediocre games, and just games, you know. And with Toren, you know, I enjoyed my time with Toren. It was an hour and a half for me. I can see it taking 2 hours for some people, maybe a bit longer if you're really trying to scrape as much as you can out of it. And I know there's some kind of, I haven't really confirmed it, but there's some kind of New Game Plus element in that, and I'm not really interested in that personally. But if that's something that you want to see, and you know, knock yourself out. It's $10, and that's hard to beat for an hour and a half. You know, that's a movie theater ticket. So yeah, that's all for now, and thanks for watching again. I'll see you later.